This is part 12 of Thy Word is a lamp unto my feet. And I am jumping back for another flashback into the Epistles of John, chapter 2. This is the first epistle of John, chapter 2. And I'm touching on the Antichrist. Still yet, because I just left out a Mark from part 11, talking about the miracles that Jesus does. And that's him. Let me jump back over here for a second. I want you to see this. Look here at verse 20. And they went forth, and that's Mark. This is Mark 16 again. Jumping back there real quick. And they went forth and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them and confirming the word with signs following. Jesus always confirms his word with signs. He always confirms his work with signs. That's the miracles. Like it or not, his are real. The Antichrist can't do real ones. They have to come through sciences and witchcraft and all that junk. And only if you believe in them. They're only real to you if you believe in them and if you're deceived by them. But God's children will know the difference. I pray. I don't know, too many Eve's eating the apple these days. All right, back to the epistles of John. First epistle of John, chapter 2, to point this out. Who is the Antichrist, really? Think about it. See, it even says right there in verse 20, but ye have an unction which is anointing from the Holy One, Jesus, and ye know all things. I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar but he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ? He is an Antichrist that denieth the Father and the Son. If you're denying the things that Jesus is doing and that he still does today, because he changes not, you are an Antichrist. I don't care what you say. You cannot get around that. You're an Antichrist. Jesus is still doing miracles today. If you don't see them, it's because you are full of unbelief. You even pointed out yourself that not everyone got healed. Y'all pointed out yourselves that not everyone got healed due to unbelief. Unbelief is disobedience. That's a sin. Now, if you're not seeing miracles, it's because you're an Antichrist and you're full of unbelief. Now, let's go here to John 14. St. John. Again, back to what Jesus says. Are you going to tell him he's a liar? Don't tell me. Tell him. But just make sure you're not standing next to me, please. Because in Washington the other day, 4 people got struck with lightning. There were 6 strikes near some historic statue thingy. Clearly, they shouldn't have been blocking the way he was trying to get the statue. Kidding. He doesn't miss where he's aiming. I'm totally kidding there. But anyway, there was 4 hit. 2 did not survive. And no, I am not making light of that. That was a great tragedy. It really was. 2 people are dead now. I warned you all this stuff was going to get worse and it was going to continue. Quit calling his stuff global warming. It's not that. It's the wrath of the Lamb. It's the fervent heat that heaven and earth shall pass away with. Oh, good gravy. Tell you what, these people, I don't know about y'all. Where am I going, Lord? Oh, yeah. About forgot. Now, back to what I was trying to say. Yeah, I'm pretty good, right? Hey, it is like 2:30 in the morning. I got church in a few hours, and I just, gonna be sitting there with toothpicks in my eyelids. I'm kidding. I have gone on less. Sometimes I've gone days at a time not sleeping. It's no big deal. The Lord keeps me. And then sometimes he just knocks me out for some weird reason. You know what? I went my whole life. I'm going to tell this for the glory of the Lord. Before I get into this, I went my whole life, ever since my childhood. When I was real little, I used to go into these deep trance-like sleeps when I was extremely small, and they couldn't get me awake, even in nightmares. Grandma would have to pray me out of them. And then I went from that, as I got a little older, into this sleeping like 2 hours a night here and there phase, and that continued throughout my teenage years and was still continuing. And one of the weirdest things have happened here in the last little bit. For some reason, I've always had the hardest time since that started going to sleep. It's like getting my brain to shut off. But lately, it's like somebody's been flipping the switch and just boom, I'm out. I don't even know I'm going. Again, like when I was a kid, a little kid. And it's the weirdest thing. I don't know if somebody's praying for me to sleep or what's going on, because it's weird, because I'm not used to that. But something's happening. And then I'm right back up, seems like, around anywhere from 2:30 to 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm back up. It's the oddest thing. Those are odd times. Sometimes at 2:30 or 2, because the Lord gets me up to pray or to work on studying scriptures or to work on some other things in the Word. But it's been mostly around 5 lately. 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's the weirdest thing. That was not even my time schedule before with the way I did things, but it's really weird. It's like a reset. That was not intentional. And no, I am not with the group doing the reset. Not even close. I would be on the other side. Now, because the group doing the reset is not the group telling the truth from the gospel. They don't, it's like, the Wicked Witch and the Wizard of Oz, and they throw water on her. I'm melting. You get this word out with them, and it's like that. I'm kidding. Satan knows this word cover to cover, and he will do and use that against us if we're not careful. That's why we need to study to show ourselves approved, and we need to stay in the Word and see that we're not being deceived. But we need to study it with the Spirit, not just carnal man's knowledge. So I'm going to see you in the next part. Maybe I'll do 2 12s. See you in part 13.